Individuals have a right to the truth. The Caesars committed a crime against consciousness.
They reached into the minds of their subjects and planted false concepts to make them easier to control. And those crimes are not only historical, but are ongoing. Religions in Rome were not independent theological entities, but Roman bureaucracies whose purpose was crowd control.
They were taxing everything that moved.
Flavians hoped to create docile, tax-paying subjects who did not need a standing army over them to maintain order.
I mean, they really had it down pat. They have Jesus saying, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's," which is basically in response to talking about money. Whose benefit would that be? It's so blatantly obvious.
Warning. The following video will prove once and for all that Jesus was an invented character. After this, there is no return to superstition ever again. Piece of family left signatures as a sign that they wrote the New Testament. They, rather than he, didn't want to be forgotten. Remember, the Calpurnius Piso family was a family of kings.
I mean, they really had it down pat. They have Jesus saying, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's," which is basically in response to talking about money. Whose benefit would that be? It's so blatantly obvious.
We sought to come up with a plan that would once and for all keep the Jews of Judea pacified, ensuring that they remain obedient Roman citizens. It was then that my knowledge of the typology used in Jewish literature would become useful. Together with the great scholar Pliny the Elder, we conspired to create the story of a pacifistic Jewish Messiah who had already come, and who taught the Jews to turn the other cheek and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. We used this Jewish typology, a type of symbolism, to construct the life of this Messiah out of the events of each of Titus's battle campaigns, thereby memorializing Titus.
I mean, they really had it down pat. They have Jesus saying, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's," which is basically in response to talking about money. Whose benefit would that be? It's so blatantly obvious.
The Calpurnius Piso family left signatures as a sign that they wrote the New Testament. They, rather than he, didn't want to be forgotten. Remember, the Calpurnius Piso family was a family of kings. The Calpurnius Piso family was a Roman family of kings that ruled part of the Roman Empire and Judea at the time of Jesus. People revolted against the Roman kings and didn't want to be ruled by them. So the Roman kings invented Jesus in order to pacify the people in Rome. This is Illuminati's biggest secret. And it is also the biggest secret of the Jews. For the Jews themselves know their history, while we don't. And the Jews use this against us. The 4 Piso signature numbers are 41, 60, 19, and 26. These are the signatures, numbers of Calpurnius Piso. He left, or rather, the Calpurnius Piso family left signatures as a sign that they wrote the New Testament. They, rather than he, didn't want to be forgotten. Remember, the Calpurnius Piso family was a family of kings, related to their bloodline, the same blood. Now they wanted to be remembered. They left signs that we were the authors of the New Testament. And their secret signs was numbers. Also a Messiah for the rest of people in order to enslave them. The Piso family did in fact write the New Testament, and they left signs of themselves, signatures of themselves in numbers, decoded in the life of Jesus, in his ministries. Piso family invented Jesus. Calpurnius Piso family were related to the Herod and the Flavian dynasty. They were the main rulers of the Roman Empire and Judea. And as I said, they invented Jesus in order to pacify the Messianic movement and the rebellious people in Rome. And they did that by reading the Old Testament of the Jews and then inventing a follow-up Messiah for the Jews, and also a Messiah for the rest of people in order to enslave them.
Events of Jesus' ministry occur at the same location and in the same sequence as the events of Titus's military campaign that they represent. We're proud of their invention and encoded into the Gospels a message to posterity. All of the events of Jesus' ministry were created as symbolic representations of the Flavians' military campaign through Judea. Jesus begins his ministry at the Sea of Galilee, where he tells his disciples that if they follow him, they will become fishers of men. That story was based on Titus's military victory at the Sea of Galilee, where he sank the Jews' fishing fleet and fished for men.